everybody. Dr. Ryan Dopps here with Dopps Chiropractic Northeast. Tonight I want to talk to you about some really fundamental things. It's a very simple statement that the power that heals your body lives within inside you. What I'm talking about is the innate intelligence or the inborn intelligence. The word innate just means inborn. So I want to take you guys back to the very beginning, but before we do this, I want to ask you a question. Are you aware of the top 3 killers in the United States? Now this is pre-COVID, so I don't want to mess with those numbers or anything like that, but there's 3 top killers in the United States. I want you to leave them in the comments. I'll chime in and let you know what they are. But I want you to participate a little bit here with me because the numbers are astounding. So we're going to take it all the way back to the beginning in the biology of the human body. So we have 2 cells that start, the sperm and the egg, and they get together and they create life. And that life, that intelligence that sparks, knows how to put together everything in your body and run everything. So out of 2 cells in 280 days, you get about 80 trillion cells. That's a ton, right? Now, my son Eli has some Legos. I would bet that he's probably got 1,000 of them, let's say, okay? Now, that's not 80 trillion. So think about this. If I had 280 days to take this box of Legos and randomly shake it, right? The ability to create something out of randomly shaking Legos and getting the pieces to stick together is far, like nobody would take that bet that if I shake this box of Legos for 280 days, I'm not going to get the Eiffel Tower as I dump it out, right? But what we see happen in the body is in 280 days, you have 2 cells that create 80 trillion cells. So that comes with one thing, that is a high level of intelligence that is massive. The amount of intelligence it takes to create a human body from 2 cells is phenomenal. And the first thing that's created is the brain and the central nerve system. So the 2 cells get together, they start duplicating and duplicating and duplicating until they become about a ball about the size of a raspberry. And then they fold in on themselves. And when they fold in, they create a tube called the notochord. And the notochord is the very first remnants and all that of the spinal cord and the brain. So the first thing that's created is the central nerve system. And your body has to then create everything after that. It creates fingernails and it creates toes and ears and weird looking beards and all kinds of things after the brain and spinal cord are developed. So the point I want to share with you guys tonight is the number one thing that happens in the body when the sperm and the egg get together is the brain and the spinal cord. The central nerve system is the first thing that comes on. And it's pretty important to take care of that thing. In fact, when you get your baby, from the doctor, the midwife, after you have it, the number one thing they say is make sure to protect the head and the neck. So they know that this up here is important. And the reason why is because where that sperm and egg meet, as everything develops, the spot in which those 2 unite sits right here, right underneath the ear, and it sits in what's called the brain stem. That's the start and the foundation of life. And so it's super important to protect that because in a newborn, 90% of the brain isn't even formed yet. Most of the stuff that happens in the body happens right inside the brainstem because the cortex and all that stuff isn't developed. Now, John Hopkins did a study a few years ago and they said that 90% of newborns have a subluxation in their atlas. So we'll talk about subluxation in more depth here in the next coming weeks. But what we want to look at right now is protecting the head and neck because that's the cradle of life in the body. That's where the innate intelligence starts, as the sperm and the egg get together. It's super important. Innate intelligence means inborn intelligence, the thing that's beating our heart right now, that's cleaning our blood with our liver, that's filtering everything out through our kidneys. It's making our skin do its amazing weird things and grow and replenish. Here's a fun fact. In 90 days, your liver will be completely dead and it will be replaced with a completely new liver. 120 days, every cell in your heart will be dead, but replaced by a completely new cell. So our body's in this constant regeneration and repair due to innate intelligence, and it's fascinating. As a chiropractor, my job is to remove interference from the expression of life from the brain to any cell or tissue. And when you remove that interference, you increase the communication power of the body, and that allows the cells to become better and to function correctly and to heal and restore. And revivification is the right word of the tissue. So that allows the tissue to restore and get back to where it needs to be. As a chiropractor, that's my only job. I don't take care of pain. I don't take care of backaches, headaches, anything like that. Those things are all signs of nerve compression and signs of dysfunction that we have in the body. But when we block the innate intelligence, anything downstream isn't correct. So we're starting kind of at some fundamentals today. We're going to keep building so that we can understand kind of the basis and the fundamentals of what chiropractic truly is. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.